What up to my peoples and welcome to Retro Crunch. So in our first retro news of the week, being a huge fan of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I never really expected it to be actually made into a drama series, let alone still be as popular today as it was back in the 1990s. I'm glad that I was wrong, and it's very cool to see there is a remake version called Bel-Air that's being made. There is a full trailer that just came out, and while it doesn't have that same silly and upbeat vibe as the original, there's some real interesting stuff that's going on in this trailer. I really like the casting for Ashley and Carlton and Aunt Viv and Hillary and Jeffrey and even Jazzy Jeff. I'm just not real sure about Phil yet though, but I hope he does a good job. Phil and Will, to me, they kind of were the glue for the show. Now Carlton, he probably plays a really close third, but I think it's really important to get Phil correct in this. So if Uncle Phil fails, I think the show might fail as well. And for Will, initially I wasn't really sure if I was going to be on board with him, but after seeing this first trailer, I think that they did a good pick for Will as well. From what I've seen in the trailer, this storyline will have Will running away from his past, along with some bad men that are looking for him. He's going to move to Bel-Air. Initially, he tries to fit in, but once he realizes that he's better off being himself, that's when I think that the show is actually going to start shining, probably in the second half of the season. Seeing Will with his fun, quirkiness, and crazy, flashy style that he had from the original, which I love, by the way, I think that's probably going to come out in the later episodes. This is going to be the classic new kid, new school, ostracized and doesn't fit in, but later he finds himself and then he wins over the crowd. At least that's what I'm seeing from these trailers, but let me know what you're seeing if you're seeing something different. Now, this is going to be premiering on February 13th, and in all, so far, it looks like it's going to be really interesting, and I'm definitely intrigued with this concept, so I'm going to watch it. I will link to the trailer down below, so check it out and tell me what you think about it. Then next up, I have an update on the Quantum Leap sequel that's going to be set about 30 years into the future from when the last episode ended. It looks like NBC has finally ordered a pilot to be made for the show, so hopefully if that goes well, that they're going to turn this thing into full production. I would really love to see how this whole story ends, see if Sam Beckett actually makes it home after 30 years for good. And here's a synopsis for what it's going to be about. So it's been 30 years since Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. Now a new team has been assembled to restart the project in the hopes of understanding the mysteries behind the machine and the man who created it. That's all we know about this new show for now, but I will definitely keep you informed if I hear anything new. And then there's another pilot that's being made by NBC. It's for a sequel to the 1990s show Life Goes On. If you remember that show growing up, it's a real treat, it's real wholesome, and it was a real fun show to watch. I do know that Kelly Martin and Chad Lowe, they're going to be back to reprise their roles as Rebecca and Jesse, but for this show to really make it, we have to have Chris Burke as Corky come back as well. He was the heart of that show, and if he comes back, I think it might be a good watch and it might be successful. In all, I hope that the pilot does really well so they end up making this a show as well. With all of the reboots and remakes and revivals that have been coming out lately, it seems like across the gambit, there are so many shows from the 80s and 90s that you almost have a full palette of shows that you can watch throughout the week. And then some news that I did not expect, thanks Narmiachos. It looks like Tim Allen is going to be reprising his role as Santa Claus in a limited series that's based on the movie franchise, The Santa Claus. There's no word on when this limited series is going to be coming out, but I really do hope that it comes out by Christmas this year. I'd like to check it out myself. Oh, and before we go, a article that I found interesting, but have no idea if it's available in the United States. So Japan has these capsule vending machines, which I've never heard of, that you can win watches in the shape of a Sega Saturn, a PS1, or a PlayStation. I was looking at these watches and they look pretty cool, and the CD cover, it actually pops up to reveal the time. I don't know if it's available in the US, but I'll link to the article if you guys want to check it out or try to snag one somehow. It does look interesting and worth checking out. But finally, if you're into retro news and nostalgia stuff from back in the day, I'll see you in the next video. I'll catch you on the flip side, and remember, if it ain't retro, it ain't worth watching.